Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. Your property address 1823 Southeast Hale Place here in Gresham. We are located at the front of the house. I describe everything as if you're standing in the street facing the front of the home. So we're just to the right of the front doorway. Should you lose track of the clean out, it's fairly easy to find as it sits right now, but it could get buried. So you've got the water shut off right here. The thing is sitting right up against it. We've got a 3-inch ABS clean out we're going to drop into here and check the overall condition and serviceability of the line. So real quick, I have no idea if this is related to anything or not. The ground here is getting kind of caverned out. So I'm going to run the camera backwards here in a minute. Sometimes that happens just from poorly compacted soil and having too many things sticking out of the ground in one location. But I'll run backwards here in a moment just to make sure that sometimes that can happen when you have water escaping sewer lines or storm systems. There's a lot of causes. Water leaks. My camera doesn't feel like orienting. The water line is at the top of the screen right now. It's an unbelievably clean sewer line. There are like almost no signs of life in here. It's so clean. Most notably, no grease buildup, which is a very common issue with a lot of homes. This is a home that's doing a really good job at not putting anything improper down the line. What's up, bro? How was your 4th of July, man?
Exactly how I wanted it, quiet.
Good.
How about you? Anything exciting?
We went to Oaks Park.
Yeah.
But we didn't end up staying for the fireworks. We just went there. Dude, it was so quiet. My kids waited for no more than 30 seconds at every ride. We parked 20 feet from the gate getting in there.
Huh?
And it was like that. It just finally started getting busier around 5 or 6 when we went to leave. But like, you could have picked anywhere on the lawn. I wish we had brought our tent and just posted out there the whole day and taken naps between rides and fireworks. But anyway, it was fun.
That's awesome.
We ended up going. All right, swapping over. Sorry about that. I saw a friend there after the weekend there. Left the mic on for our conversation. Anyway, we just transitioned there over to a 6-inch concrete pipe. And one of the nice things about this part of town is, unless something has just recently changed, the city out here takes responsibility for a part of the line, just like much of Multnomah County. The difference in Gresham is rather than the city taking responsibility at the face of the curb for the line, the city out here takes it back to the right-of-way, so even further back. And generally speaking, that transition to concrete pipe almost always happens at the right-of-way. So most, if not all, of that concrete there will fall into city territory. The only reason I say it, and the concrete pipe's functioning just fine right now, it wears out sooner than plastic pipe does. So it's kind of nice when that stuff falls into someone else's territory. Anyway, there's the main there at about 61 feet. We're going to go locate really quick here and then pull back once the line's drained. All right, located the camera head successfully. Line terminates on Southeast Hale. So it's just kind of a general route. I'll do another locate here in just a second. The line, again, exits out about 5 feet to the right of the doorway. It then crosses towards the driveway. Where I did that locate out in the road and turned around and looked back at the house, I was staring at about the right side edge of the driveway. So that's kind of all locate here at the transition to concrete in just a second to see if the line actually goes under the driveway at all. It may come up just barely to the side of it. Not uncommon for them to cross through like the driveway skirt, the little tips of the driveway as it flares out right before touching the street. It's pretty common. Anyway, all the concrete pipe there drains off very nicely. No issues with it. I just mentioned the concrete responsibility thing just because this stuff has a more finite lifespan, but this is not 1920s concrete. There's still a lot of life left in there, at least theoretically. Now, the line does go under the driveway. The locate there is lined up perfectly with the little red maple, just to the right of the driveway, but near the sidewalk. We're lined up perfectly with that, parallel with it. About 2.5 feet in from the right side edge of the driveway. Anyway, if you want to keep a line clean like this, and I highly recommend it, especially if you have kids that are still, balling their toilet paper up like softballs, is not putting cooking oil and grease, fats in general down the line. That's what gunks your pipe up. over time. So if you've got enough grease or oil on your pans that when you turn them sideways, if there's enough on there that it runs off the pan and beads or worse, it's at that point you want to stop and do something about it. Either pour it into a jar, glass jar, metal can, something like that. I cannot tell what you've got right here. This caught my eye on the way out too. It almost looks like root strands. It could also be hair. What that immediately looks like is the remnants of a past blockage. Something that blocked for just a moment and then busted loose on its own naturally. You got something around this inside turn here too that's really hard to see on that turn. Although that's looking more like dental floss right there. I can move it around with my camera. And the stringy stuff there on the sidewalls also looks like dental floss too. So I think what we've got there is a remnants of a past blockage. The more I look at that, the more it just looks like dental floss, like this right here, or a tampon string. That piece is sitting at the joint, but it shows no signs of actually penetrating through it. My camera grabbed a hold of it and drug it around, which is not indicative of roots. So anyway, back to the grease thing. Avoid putting it down your line. Thin little coating of Pam spray is no big deal. It's when you're putting quantity down the line is where grease buildup gets you. And I'm running backwards right now really quick here. This is the part of the line that no one ever cleans when they jet a line out. It's one that sometimes a line is so clean I get a little suspicious that someone preemptively jetted it before a sale. But almost nobody will jet backwards into a house, not unless there's a really good reason to. You're super clean both inside and out here. So, looking great. Great flow end to end. All the pipe here appears to be in good condition, intact. Sewer line is functioning properly at this time. Very nice looking line there.